In the heart of the African savanna, where the golden grasses sway under the relentless sun, a leopard cub took its first breath. Born in a secluded den nestled within the gnarled roots of an ancient tree, this tiny creature weighed no more than a few pounds, its eyes closed and ears folded against its head. The world outside was a cacophony of sounds, the rustling of leaves, the distant call of birds, and the occasional rumble of thunder. Yet, within the safety of the den, the cub felt only warmth and the reassuring presence of its mother. The first few weeks were a blur of instinctual dependence. The cub, named Quito by its mother, spent most of its time curled against her side, suckling and sleeping, oblivious to the dangers that lurked beyond the den's entrance. As days turned into weeks, Quito's world began to expand. The first time its eyes fluttered open, the cub was met with the sight of its mother, a magnificent creature with a coat of rosettes that glimmered in the dappled sunlight. The bond between them was palpable, a silent promise of protection and guidance. As Quito grew, so did its curiosity. The den, once a sanctuary, became a cage of sorts, and the outside world called to the cub with an irresistible allure. One day, emboldened by a mix of instinct and bravery, Quito ventured to the mouth of the den. The bright light and vast expanse of the savanna were overwhelming, but the scent of fresh grass and the sound of rustling prey ignited a spark within. It was time to learn. Quito's mother was a patient teacher, guiding her cub through the early lessons of survival. The first lessons were simple, the art of stalking. With her keen eyes, she would demonstrate how to move silently through the underbrush, how to remain low and blend in with the environment. Quito watched intently, mimicking the movements, though each attempt was clumsy. The cub would trip over its own feet, tumble into the grass, and emerge with a face full of dirt. But with every misstep came the understanding of balance and agility, essential traits for a predator. As the weeks passed, Quito's confidence grew. The lessons became more complex, incorporating the crucial skill of hunting. Quito's mother would bring back small prey, hares or birds, showing her cub how to approach silently, how to time the pounce just right. Quito learned the importance of patience, lying still for what felt like an eternity, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Each failed attempt was a lesson in itself, teaching Quito the nuances of timing and precision. However, life in the wild was not without its challenges. One fateful afternoon, while practicing the art of stalking, Quito encountered a rival predator, a large hyena, its eyes glinting with malice. The encounter was a harsh awakening. Quito's instincts screamed to flee, and in that moment, the cub realized the reality of its existence. The savanna was not just a playground, it was a battleground where survival was paramount. Quito managed to escape, but the adrenaline of that encounter left an indelible mark. It learned that strength was not just in size, but in the quickness of thought and the ability to adapt. As the months rolled on, Quito transformed from a vulnerable cub into a lean, agile young leopard. The lessons of the savanna were woven into its being, each experience sharpening its instincts. Quito's mother, sensing the shift, began to encourage independence. She would leave Quito alone for longer periods, allowing the cub to explore and practice its newfound skills on its own. The first time Quito successfully caught a small rodent, a rush of pride surged through the cub. It was a small victory, but it felt monumental, the first taste of self-sufficiency. Yet, independence came with its own set of challenges. The vastness of the savanna was both exhilarating and daunting. Quito faced hunger, the pangs of which gnawed at its belly. Days would pass without a successful hunt, and the young leopard learned the harsh lesson of patience and resilience. It became adept at reading the signs of the land, understanding animal movements, and recognizing the subtle shifts in the environment that signaled the presence of prey. Quito's emotional landscape was as complex as the savanna itself. There were moments of triumph, like the first successful hunt of a young impala, where the thrill of the chase electrified every nerve. But there were also moments of loneliness, the longing for the comforting presence of its mother, who had begun to distance herself as Quito approached maturity. The bond they shared was unbreakable, yet the natural order dictated that Quito must now forge its own path. As the seasons changed, Quito's coat deepened in color, the rosettes becoming more pronounced, a testament to its growth and transformation. The young leopard learned to navigate the intricate web of relationships within its territory. It encountered other leopards, some friendly, others hostile. Each interaction was a lesson in diplomacy and dominance, teaching Quito the delicate balance of power and coexistence. The day came when Quito, now a young adult, stood atop a rocky outcrop, surveying its domain. The sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a golden hue over the landscape. It was a moment of reflection, a culmination of all the struggles and triumphs that had defined its journey. Quito had emerged not just as a skilled predator, but as a creature of the wild, attuned to the rhythms of nature. The lessons learned in the den, the trials faced in the hunt, and the solitude embraced in independence had all shaped Quito into a formidable leopard. With a final glance at the setting sun, Quito descended the rocky perch, ready to embrace the challenges of the night. The savanna was alive with sounds, the promise of adventure echoing in the cool evening air. As Quito moved through the grass, it felt a profound connection to the world around, a blend of instinct and experience guiding every step. The journey from cub to maturity had been fraught with obstacles, but each had forged Quito into a survivor, a true embodiment of the wild.